a little bit embarrassed about this, you guys. For reals. I just found all my old swatches, failed paintings, attempted paintings, and so on and so forth. And I thought maybe you guys would like to see what's in it. So, yeah, this should be fun. I'm kind of scared. Wow. Okay, so this is just one of those like plastic tote boxes, you know the ones. And over the years, I've just been like throwing things in here. And I never look at it, like I never look back. It goes in here and that's that. So I'm actually, I probably should have gone through this first, but we're in this together now. I mean, so let's start. I'm just gonna stand rather than sitting because, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I know what these are. So I think it goes like this. So I inherited some of these Rexel Cumberland Derwent watercolor pencils. I inherited them with all the art supplies I inherited back in 2019. If you haven't heard that story, I think I have a live stream where I talk about it. So yeah, go check that out. But they are not light fast because I made these swatches in like 2020 and they hung in my studio and it wasn't even bright in my studio and they faded like crazy. So yeah, and I would say I laminated these, but I put tape on them so that they were waterproof. All right, moving on. We're going to see a lot of swatches. Like, guys, I swatched more than I actually painted for like 2 years straight. So, yeah, that's what you're going to see. This is exciting. So this is my very, very first Daniel Smith swatch chart, like ever. These are the colors I inherited. This is on Arches paper. These are my first Daniel Smith colors. Cascade Green was not one of them. So pretty. I love swatching. I just like touching paper. I don't know. Is it just me? ASMR paper, anyone? I would just sit and touch paper all day long. It's kind of creepy, but this was... Okay. So this was a pet portrait that I did for someone. And oh my gosh, the picture that she gave me was out of focus, bad lighting, pixely. And so what I did was went online and found a similar black lab and tried to paint it. And anyway, it just didn't look right. I couldn't get it right. I ended up finishing it in the end, and it's not my favorite pet portrait I ever did anyway, but she loves it. She tells me all the time. When I see her, she reminds me how much she loves it. That's Jasmine. So, Danelle, if you're seeing this, here's my first, actually is my second attempt because I did one in my sketchbook too. So yeah, this was before I understood about like the lights and darks and stuff. Man, I've come a long way. Okay, oh, I think this is my first ever swatch card for my round palette, my color wheel. And I have the legit Stephen Quiller wheel palette, like the $100 one, and that came out like right after I bought it. Meaden came out with their inexpensive one, and I was like, oh dang. But you know what, my very first paid pet portrait paid for it, and so it's fine, it's all good. But yeah, these were the colors I had in it when I first... This is before, like, pre-brand ambassador, pre-pet portrait artist. You could freeze it and see what colors I have on here. I've done so many iterations of this. This is Baohong rough paper. Look at that texture. I'm not a rough texture kind of girl, but I tried everything out. This is a swatch done on my Leuchtturm journal paper. I kind of like the way it looks, and I also like the crinkliness. And then here's a swatch of some brown tones. A lot of this is like practicing, picking colors to buy, comparing colors. This looks like Arches paper. So I inherited some Arches. It wasn't quite 300 pound, but it wasn't 140. It was like 2 something. So it was like interesting. There's some Cascade Green, Napthamide Maroon. I can just tell by looking at them. Here's some more swatches. This is on a Master's Touch postcard, which I don't have any of this anymore. I actually donated all my non-professional art supplies to a 14-year-old girl. So anyway, just swatches, guys. I'm not going to go over every one of these. Oh, ugh. This is that Strathmore Excalibur paper that is discontinued. It's that glass fiber paper. I can't even stand touching it. Ugh. Okay, more swatches. More swatches. Here's some Lunar Black mixes. I can tell because Lunar Black is special. Yep. That's with the Cobalt Blue. So pretty. I think this is also Arches paper. Yep. Lots of Arches. This is a, what is this paper? Ooh, I think, oh, I don't know. Swatches. Rose of Ultramarine, Cobalt Blue Violet, Cobalt Teal Blue, Aussie Red Gold. I could probably name every one of these. I think this is my first ever Cascade Green swatch. Oh my gosh. That was my first Daniel Smith color I bought like with my own monies. Because the rest of them I inherited. Which I feel super... It's just a special story. I don't know what this is. Wow. Oh. Guys, this is like my first failed pet portrait. Like ever. Actually, I think this is the second iteration. I was trying to paint my friend's dog Tyson. He had passed away. And this is kind of why I paint the eyes first. This is why. Because I went to all this work and tried to paint this guy. And I think I also tried to wash it off or something. I don't know. And then this is like opaque white that I put over. You learn so much from your failures, don't you? But yeah, I just... God, you got to do the eyes first. Get it out of the way. Get them right. This actually isn't the worst one. There's another one somewhere in here, I hope. That's like, I used Quin Gold for brown fur, which was like not a good idea. Anyway, moving on. I got to show that to one of my students because I keep telling her about it, but I couldn't find it. Here's Rose of Ultramarine. Such a lovely magical color. You guys haven't tried that color. It's just quinacridone rose and ultramarine blue, but like having a convenience mixture is amazing. All right, more swatches. This one is the 300-pound Arches. This should just be an ASMR paper video. QOR Green Gold is similar to Daniel Smith Rich Green Gold. It's very like pickled juice color, and I actually really like the QOR colors. QOR is a good brand. This was me swatching from a dot card. I remember that because that's all I had. Swatches. I'm not going to go over every one of these. We'll be here for hours and I don't want to edit a 3-hour swatch video, but yeah. One's Ultramarine Turquoise and one's Phthalo Turquoise. I think that's Phthalo and I think that's Ultramarine because that has the granulation of Ultramarine Blue. There's some more of that nasty paper I don't want to touch. And there's more of it. Ugh. Actually, I met someone recently. A lady came to my house. They were delivering something for my daughter and my husband loves to give people tours of my art studio, and she came up here and we were talking and somehow got on the topic of paper. And she did watercolor. She remembered that Strathmore Excalibur glass fiber paper. She was like, oh, there was this paper once that it made me itchy. And I was like, oh my gosh, nobody has ever like remembered it. I think I had a YouTube follower remember it. That's awesome, but had to have been in the 90s. These are swatches on a hot press paper. And hot press, man, is like a whole different animal. But you can still get that granulation. It's just different. It's just different because the texture, like there's not really like areas for the granulation to settle into. So yeah, it just does something kind of different. More swatches. Guys, look at this paper. It's so rough. It's the Baohong paper. So I enjoy the back side. I can do the back side of the Baohong, but the front side's way, even their cold press is way too textured for me. Some more Baohong. See the difference? It's like the back side of the Baohong cold press, and then this is the front. It does give lovely granulation and texture. Oh, I know what this is. This is Arteza watercolor paper. It's kind of interesting. I gave that away too. This is Wisteria and Lavender. They're really pretty together. Add a little bit of Iridescent Gold with this combo and it's so pretty. I think these are flowers. Okay, here's another one of those. You're gonna see a couple. See? That thing has been through so many different iterations. Right now, I need to redo it. I need to do a new one, but this is what it looks like right now. I just have my dot colored colors in it, and then any like new colors I'm playing with are here, but I haven't changed it yet. I'm just drawing X's through the old ones, and I actually have some empty spots. But yeah, that's the current situation here. I actually really, really love this palette. The idea is to teach you like mixing. So you've got your primary yellow, your primary red, or in my case, magenta. And this one I actually waxed. I waxed this one so it was waterproof. Yeah, we've been on a journey. Oh, this one was inspired by Landgraf on YouTube. That was a really fun exercise. If you guys haven't seen her channel, go check her out. I will post her channel in the description because she's amazing. Her method is just colorful, rainbow, fun, loose, wild, magical. Here's another swatch thingy. I don't know what I was doing here at the bottom, but it's lovely. Hot press paper. Swatches with Lunar Black. Oh, this is a postcard that came with some stickers. It's Heather Ian Martin Fine Art. And I bought stickers from her. She did a demo for Daniel Smith. She does amazing gouache work. But those are the stickers I bought from her. And then this is where I was playing with color mixing chart, doing like a warm version and a cool version. It's a really fun practice to do. Okay, I know that this is that glass fiber paper. I'm just such not a fan. I should just toss these, but they look kind of cool. But do you see what it does? It's like little white spots. This is Baohong Furred pulp paper. Swatches. Oh, I inherited this block too. But I inherited this amazing 12 by 16 block, which is definitely the size I would buy if I was gonna buy a block. But I stretch my own paper, so it doesn't matter anyway. Oh, and this is when I was playing with making like Polaroids and my tape leaked. This was way back 2019, I want to say. My son drew this. And we were going to do like a big painting of it or something. I don't remember. But he would have been like 12 when he did this. Maybe 13. And he is now almost 18. He'll be 18 in November. I can't even believe it. Here's another Polaroid. Oh, here's our dog Dougie. Actually, Dougie was my first ever pet portrait that I painted. It's what started my journey. I don't know what's happening here. Don't remember. My Daniel Smith Watercolor Collection, June 2020. There you have it. Oh, here's a beautiful pie chart. You know what? This is also Irit Landgraf channel. So she's awesome. She got some really good stuff. Oh, this is the Jean Haines Master Watercolor set. Oh my gosh, you guys. Every time somebody asks me what Daniel Smith set they should start with, this is what I recommend. This looks horrible, but they are just stunning colors. You can't go wrong. Okay, this isn't even watercolor paper. This is me swatching my Tombow and Artist Loft markers and then trying to make them watercolor. So, and then this is some like Strathmore. This paper's not even watercolor paper, I don't think. This is really old. I didn't even label the colors. Here's another one. Ooh, Jane Davenport Mermaid markers back in 2019. Shout out in the comments if you ever had the Jane Davenport Mermaid markers. So they weren't markers. They were actually like water brushes that were filled with like an ink. And they had sparkly and they were all named after like ocean stuff. Oh, here we go again. Here's another one. I have a problem. Or at least I did. Okay. This is from taking a online class. Jean Haines, everybody. These are her dancing ladies. It's her way of swatching and seeing how the colors run together. I mean, look what you end up getting. These really pretty thing. So yeah, if you ever have a chance to take a Jean Haines class, oh my gosh, she is a national treasure. Well, she's not from the US. She's a world treasure. How about that? Winsor Newton Cotman palette. Yeah, I actually swatched that palette more than I ever did actually paint with it. Oh my gosh. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed about this, you guys. For reals. What is this? Number 6? I don't know what to say. It just really indecisive maybe, or honestly though, all this swatching and like playing with color has kind of like led me to where I am today, and like really having an understanding of color. And so I don't regret it. And then this was a class I took online. Skillshare class. Denise Soden. Skillshare class. This was so much fun. She taught controlling value. She taught creating blooms and preventing blooms, because it's important to know how to do both. She talked about wet on
dry, dry on dry, when I'm wet, dry on wet. Anyway, softening edges.
Valuable stuff, guys. Honestly, 2020 was the year of Skillshare for me, and I learned so much. This is one of my first Daniel Smith mixing charts. There you have it. Oh, if I can remember this guy's name, somebody today will win the lottery.
Somebody today will win the lottery.
Alek. Okay, he's an older gentleman on YouTube. Okay, looked it up. I cheated. Alek Krylow YouTube channel. I'll post a link to this video. This guy does the most amazing watercolor art, and he only has these 3 colors that he mixes with just like a couple other colors and creates like this gorgeous range. And it's really, really interesting. Look at these pretty colors. And more than anything, this was just really fun to do, and it was really insightful. Okay, I think we're getting into like some actual, yeah, here we go. We're getting into some actual art now. Oh, enough with the swatches already, huh? Okay. Yes, this box is staying on my desk. Oh well. Alright. Okay. I remember this. 2021. This was, I feel like it's all Cascade Green and nothing else. This was a class. I wish I had written it down. It was a class. So this was like one, I think I helped my daughter do this one. And then I did that one. And I put a spaceship in it. It might have been a Skillshare. We did birds on that one. But I just thought a spaceship would be fun. So it's like New Mexico or something. Roswell. Oh, I was teaching a community youth watercolor class, and I taught them feathers. So it was really fun. This is pretty though. I don't hate it. Okay, this is a pet portrait of a horse that honestly isn't that bad, and I could probably finish it. But yeah, yet again, this is probably from 2021. The eyes. Gotta start with the eyes, because here's what happens. I get here and it feels like I'm in the ugly stage, and it's not that bad. But I get here and I get frustrated or overwhelmed or something else. And if that eye isn't anchoring me to finish this painting, I just give up. Oh, this is terrifying. I painted this in 2022 for my daughter. She wanted like Hermione's cat from Harry Potter. So this is Crookshanks. And I don't know why it's in here, because I actually really like it. It's fun. It's splashy and wild. I'm gonna leave that one out. Oh, here's one I did with my son. It was like a collaboration we did together. So he said, Mom, what if I draw something and you paint it? So I think he drew this and I painted it. And then I used white gel pen. This was a Skillshare class. I don't remember her name, but I'll look it up. That was fun. Seriously, like, I took so many fun Skillshare classes in 2020. This was my own. I was trying to paint a zinnia in a certain style. It's kind of fun. I know I had fun doing it. This was my first time ever using hot press paper. And it was on a block. It was on a Baohong. This was fun, but this is kind of plagiarism. I can't claim this design as my own. This was just something that I saw. I think I saw another artist do something similar. Mine's different. I didn't do the exact same thing. I did something similar, and I had this hung in my kitchen for quite a while. I should put it back in the kitchen. August 2020. I kind of love it. I'm putting it in the kitchen. All this art I need to just hang up. This one should go in the kitchen too. This is 300 pound. Check out that heavy paper. This is Arches, 300 pound or 600 GSM. This is literally my breakfast. I had painted my own breakfast plate one day, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. 2021. That's got to go in the kitchen. I should make like a whole collage. Okay, this was me experimenting with salt. And this was just supposed to kind of be like the ocean and like coming to shore. And you can see like the salt stayed. It didn't like, I guess. Yeah, the salt's not coming off. It's like sandpaper. But that's really cool looking. Okay, here's one from 2021. This one, I did these two at the same time. I was obsessed with food. And this is hot press paper. Baohong, probably. And this is Arches, as you can see. Got our classic Arches Arch stamp here. So cool. So, yeah, I should do a whole food wall in my kitchen. What am I even doing? Okay, this is also a Skillshare tutorial by Denise Soden. I'm really proud of that one. 2021. That was fun. If you guys haven't tried Skillshare, oh my gosh, try it. Do the 30 days free. You can get a month for free. Sometimes if you try to cancel, they'll give you more time for free. Don't tell them I said that. Seriously, in 1 month, I learned so much. Okay, that's my house. It's an old church back in 2022 after I painted my door blue. It's not blue anymore. It's like a dark grayish green. It's really cool. Anyway, I was attempting to do the style of... Starts with an F. His last name starts with an F. He's British. He does like urban sketching. Maybe it'll come to me. This is from like 2015. This is a really old one. Yeah, I did this in 2015 and I put salt. I'm pretty sure I took a YouTube tutorial for that. It's like a geode. I had that hung in my bedroom forever. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty. Okay, this is recent, and this should never see the light of day. I'm not a portrait artist. Okay. I did this in Italy this year, back in April. I took a class with my good friend Lorena Massa. She is an Italian artist who does all kinds of amazing work. I love her. Anyway, I got to take a workshop of hers. She was so sweet. She was like, oh, it's good. It's good. This, you know. I'm like, yeah, she looks like she got in a car accident and like the seatbelt gave her like whiplash or something. But, yeah, the way that Lorena paints is she like lays down like purples and blues first and then adds like a warm color and it all comes together and it's amazing. And my brain just couldn't grasp it. But Lorena's a good teacher. This is not because of her. This is all me. And I was just overwhelmed being in Italy and just... Anyway, don't need to excuse myself on that one. Oh, this is just me playing as well. This is a hot press paper. I think it's the Fabriano. Yep. Fabriano Artistico hot press. And I will say that their hot press has a little more tooth to it than most. I like it. I still prefer the soft press though. This is me playing with, like, trying to mix certain colors. These are actually a little more recent. Like, this is this year, I think. Yeah. I was just playing around. Okay, this one is from 2015. It's just little. But, yeah, when I first got into watercolor again, so I've been in watercolor my whole life, but, like, not in a serious way. And when I had my little boys, I couldn't really paint because you guys, you know, like little kids and paint. And, so I became a photographer instead, and that was my creative outlet. And then as my kids started to get a little bit older, I started playing around with watercolor again. This is actual some actual paintings. We'll just look at it. Let's just look at it. Okay. Okay. I actually don't normally buy these, but these were a couple years ago on clearance at Hobby Lobby for like a few dollars. So I bought them. And then this is part of my food series. That needs to go with my other foods. That I'm pretty sure this was 2021 as well. And this is the Arteza paper. This is a homeschooling graphic that I made in 2017, I think. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is definitely 2016, 17. This is before I started signing my work and dating it. This is a tutorial from YouTube, I think. And this is from 2020. I don't know. Okay. This is from 2019. It was a little cabin we were looking at buying in Idaho. This is back when we lived in California. And it just was so cute. And I decided to paint it and put it like on my vision board because we really wanted to buy this cabin. We didn't, but we do live like 20 minutes from it. And we're really glad we didn't buy it because we wouldn't have winter access. And then that is 2020. Probably a Skillshare or something. My little girl did this one. I helped her. But this was back in 2020. You can see her little signature here. And then this one, 2021. It was a coloring book. My daughter had this like mandala animal coloring book. And she's like, Mom, do this parrot. So I literally used graphite paper to trace this onto watercolor paper and then paint it. So that's what that is. She loved that so much. Okay, this is definitely from 2016. It said on the back. Good job, me. These are from that same class I took where I did the dancing ladies. Her style is very loose and fun. Okay, that's from 2021. I tried to paint like gems from a gemstone book, and I think I gave up too quickly because knowing what I know now, I'm like, oh yeah, I just didn't get my values quite there. And then this one's probably, I have no idea, 2020? Oh, there's more food. Get the food out. Look at that green pepper. Does not look just good enough to eat. That's a hot press. And then this is a print. This is not the original painting. I gifted the original painting to a friend who actually raises these kind of cows. So she and her husband raise, they have like a mix between the Scottish Highland cattle and then like the Irish something. And so this doesn't quite look like the original painting. It has a green tinge to it because, you know, printers and stuff. But this was from a class I took by Jane Davies on Skillshare. So she did like a really cute like teddy bear cow tutorial. That one's really fun. Okay, this is me attempting that same horse. And I hated it. And so I made it have pink hair. I don't know. I got mad. I just don't know what else to say. Okay. This is a print too. And it doesn't look quite right. But here's the thing. I'll get to it in a second. I ruined the original with spray-on sealant. And I'm not happy about it. But luckily I had taken a picture. It wasn't the best picture. I need to get this like reprinted properly. This was just me printing it with like Shutterfly or something. But I'll show you the original in a second that I ruined. Oh, there's an avocado. This one is from 2016-ish. Nothing. Guys, date your art. I promise you will thank yourself. This was me making a book cover back in 2016. And that's it. We have more. Don't worry. I'm still here. Okay. Lavender, Wisteria. And I talked about this earlier. Iridescent Gold. Isn't that pretty? Like, I could just, if it was even, if it was like centered, I could frame that. It's so just pretty. It just makes me happy. This is 300-pound Arches. This is the Arches hot press, which is a lovely, lovely paper that I did not buy. I inherited all my arches, so I did not buy it. But this is a teacup tutorial I did. So my friend did a book. She wrote a book on homeschooling and poetry tea time. And I did the cover for it. And I did it like in Procreate. And anyway, so to launch her book, she asked if I would do a little watercolor tutorial like for kids. So I did that back in 2020. This is my daughter's art. I think she was 9 when she did this. I'm not sure what it is. I know there's a tree here. So a tree. There's probably a horse because she was like horse obsessed. This is something I started and did not finish. I was going to do like layers. Oh. So there's failed paintings and then there's given up on paintings. And this is a given up on. This was going to be, could you guess? Can you guess what it is? This was going to be a goat. So we used to have a goat named Pollyanna. She was our favorite goat. Look at this. The tape's still on it. Oh, that's satisfying. Maybe I should finish it. Comment below if you think I should be brave and try to finish Pollyanna the goat. I don't even know if I have her picture anymore. We don't have Pollyanna. We got rid of our goats because my husband, let's just say he didn't understand goats and they got the best of him and it made him really, really mad that the goats were smarter than him. He would probably agree if he heard me say that. But yeah, like this is good paper. I could even use the back. This is arches. This is like 300-pound hot press. But yeah, Pollyanna. I didn't even know what I was doing. That was back in 2020. I wouldn't have even known where to start painting a goat. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I didn't even have a sketch. I just like... Not that you can't do a painting without a sketch. That's not what I'm saying, but that's how I work. This is lovely. I don't know what it is or why, but it's lovely. I just love the color scheme I had here. It's like pastel-y. It's very pretty. Ugh, why? I'm not even gonna say it. This is that paper. Yeah. Yeah. Another one of those Polaroids. Oh, this is a photo I took. We lived in San Diego and we would go beach combing. So I was a photographer. So my daughter gathered all this stuff from the beach and I didn't want to keep it. So we did bring it home. This is like a kelp root and it had all kinds of stuff in it. It was really cool. And I brought it home, laid it all out on a wooden board or an old fence panel thingy. And I photographed it. And then we just took everything back to the beach. So I actually do think I still have the driftwood though. I need to frame this and put it in my bathroom. My bathroom is like beach themed. So I'm glad I went through this today because there's some treasures in here. Here is something from 2020. It's the galaxy. Story time. So you saw that picture of my dog, Dougie. Dougie was my first dog. My husband grew up with dogs, but I didn't. And so in 2017, I want to say, we adopted a 9-year-old Basset Hound pug, Busug, named Dougie. And oh my gosh, I just love that dog. He passed away in December 2020. It broke my heart, but I had gotten his paw print before he died. And I really need to deal with that. I do have his painting framed, but here's the story. Stinking spray sealant. So I bought some artist grade professional spray sealant. I didn't know that you're not supposed to use it in cold weather. Like if it's below 50 degrees, you're not supposed to use it in the cold. And we have a gym in our house and the gym is not heated. So it was winter time. It was probably January because this is 2021. He died in the end of December. I did not have the heart to paint him. It just, you guys get it. If you've tried to paint your pet who's passed away, it's hard. It's just hard. So anyway, I finally got up the courage to paint Dougie. This is my very, very, very first pet portrait. My very, very first. I painted him while watching a tutorial of Mary Evelyn Studio Art on Skillshare. And she still has it up. You guys can go watch it. It's how to paint a Basset Hound. And I followed that tutorial to paint Dougie. And I'm so proud of this painting. But damn it, I took that spray sealant and I went into my gym in 40-degree weather. And here's the infamous Instagram video that I shared like a year later. Oh, it's painful. It's really painful. Maybe I sprayed too close. Maybe I did it too thick. Who knows? But I'm not doing it again. It turned ghosty. Look at that. Oh, poor doggy. I actually cried. Luckily, I had taken a picture first. I was able to buy a print, and it's framed in my front room now, so it turned out really good. But this just bums me out. I now use the Dorland's cold wax medium because I know it worked. I tested it on something else before I tried it. Don't use, if you're not sure about a product, don't just do it on your favorite freaking painting of your dog who died. Like, test it on something you don't care about first. But I need to actually frame this. Paw print. This is from a tutorial with Let's Make Art on YouTube in 2022. Such a great YouTube channel. She's a doll. I just love her. Oh, this was me trying to paint a chameleon for my son. He was huge into lizards at the time, and I never finished it. It was so tedious. There were like all these little like scales, and I think I just got overwhelmed. And I didn't have the fortitude to see it through. Here's just some pretty swatches on some hot press paper. This one was fun. Okay, so it's not finished, but I ended up, this was the year in 2019, I got my first iPad and I got Procreate. And so you can see how glittery that is. I used the Jane Davenport mermaid markers to do this. Mostly like the glittery stuff. So I ended up bringing this into Procreate and finishing it digitally. And I don't know if I have it anymore, the digital version. It's probably floating in the ether somewhere, but. Oh, and here's me practicing for my friend's Poetry Tea Time book cover. I didn't end up using this. The cover does have a stack of books and then a stack of teacups like this, but it's a different color scheme. It's like bright yellow and it's super fun. This is a quote by Louisa May Alcott. "Finding beauty in the humblest things makes home happy and life lovely." And when I started homeschooling, we had to name our homeschool because we lived in California and you had to file as a private school and you had to have a name. And so because of this quote, I decided to name us Home and Happy Academy, and it just meant a lot to me. Gosh, I love Louisa May Alcott. She's my girl. There's some little happy mushrooms. I think this is on my Instagram. I did this in 2020. Yep, March 2020, right before the shutdown. Happy shrooms. And then there's another Polaroid of the galaxy. I guess I like the galaxy a lot. Swatches, that's pretty. I could make that into a bookmark. I have a lot of bookmarks. You have no idea. This is another tutorial I did, and it's good until you get to there and it's like, what in the actual crap is that? I don't know. Oh my gosh, this is my friend's dog. I was gonna surprise her with this. My husband was heading to San Diego for the week, and I was trying to get this done really fast. My friend's dog had just passed away. She still to this day does not know about this. So Amanda, if you see this, I'm so sorry. I did try to paint your dog and I didn't finish it. Just wasn't happy. I literally now though, looking at this, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do. But back in 2021, I got to this point and I went, I don't know what to do. And that's what's so cool about like where I am now. There are people who come to me and do my private mentoring sessions where they bring me something like this and they say, I'm stuck. What next? What do I do? And then I can help them from there to finish. This was an online class I did. I took it from my boy Gabriel. He's a brand ambassador. Gabriel Stockton. This was from July of 2023. That was fun. Gabriel's a really good teacher and he's a cool dude. So check out Gabriel. I'll put his channel in the description too. This is Another World from 2015, I believe. The year of the tiny paintings. Here's some succulents. The year of the tiny paintings. Oh, there's another one. Some peonies. Yep. This is like the Canson XL paper. That was what I could afford. And that's what I made work for me. This is, I did not do a tutorial for this. I made this myself. I don't even know what year it was, but it was probably 21. Oh, this one's fun. I should put this one in my Halloween decorations. 2015. Again, I actually really like this one. I think I took an online tutorial for that one. And this is me playing. You love this thick, heavy paper. That arch is 300 pounds. It's a bad boy. Okay, this is watercolor canvas. I think it's just the one from Hobby Lobby. It's primed, so it's actually fairly decent, but it's cotton canvas paper primed for watercolor, and I had stretched it properly with gummed paper tape, and that's why that's still on it. I was doing a series, so those could look pretty hanging next to each other on a wall. Okay, I made a sketchbook. I was super into Ian Fennelly. He is a British artist who does urban sketching in like a really fun style, and I was like, I'm doing this. I actually bought a block, had it cut up, I took it to Staples, and I made an Ian Fennelly style sketchbook with the ring binding, hot press paper. I was gonna do it. I only did like 1 or 2 sketches and then I gave up on it. So this was the cover. That was fun. Oh my goodness. This was gonna be epic. This is a page from my Etcher sketchbook. And I just didn't have the fortitude to finish, but it was gonna be beautiful, like sunlight streaming in. It's like a chapel. I don't know. So we could say failed paintings, or we could say
I failed these paintings.
this is a big old fat swatch card of my Arteza gouache, which was my first ever gouache that I got. And it's awful compared to now. I use the Daniel Smith now, and I've used Holbein. They're all great. But the Arteza, people make it work. You can make it work, but I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So these are just tiny little swatch cards from palettes. I've had, guys, I can't even count how many palettes I've had. Travel palettes, studio palettes, palettes. That's what all this is. Cards from palettes. And here's a fun tip for you. Oh gosh, there's another one of those. It's a mini. That's cute, actually. A fun tip for you is to use the Dorland's wax medium and wax your swatch card that goes in your palette. That way, if it gets wet, it's fine. It's waterproof. And don't just wax the front, but wax both sides so it's sealed. Or get some packing tape and just tape it all the way around so that it's sealed. That's just something I've done over the years. Okay, I bought an airbrush, and this was kind of recent. Oh my gosh. I was trying to paint our pig in gouache and I gave up, but
It was gonna be the cutest painting ever.
we don't have this pig anymore. His name was Wiggum. And so I was practicing watercolor with an airbrush, which is really, really fun. I just don't know what to do with it yet. So earwig. I actually have a YouTube video of opening it, unboxing it, and doing a review of it. I just haven't finished that yet. Here's some more swatch cards. See how I taped them? But you can totally use watercolor in an airbrush. I got a very small handheld one on Amazon. It's literally in the box it came in my closet right now. Oh, this is a very sweet card I got from one of my friends and followers, Deborah. She's a total sweetheart. And she and I traded some dots. We made dots, like pink dots. Before I was a brand ambassador, we made paint dots and mailed each other little packages. And she made me this cute little card. I love it. So sweet. I will treasure this. So, Deb, if you're out there, I love it. This is recent. This is from a live I did on Instagram where I was playing around with the Daniel Smith Luminescent line and freaking out at how cool they are. I'm gonna have to go to my Instagram and look back into my lives and see. This is from a Daniel Smith live session where I went over my dot card. So this is my dot card. Colors all swatched out. And finally, we've got this thing. So this is either Yupo paper or mineral paper. But look at the effects you can get with watercolor. Look at those effects. It's almost like alcohol inks. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my stack of whatever. My stack of art. Let me know which one's your favorite. I want to hear your thoughts. Should I finish some of these unfinished paintings or should I just call it a wash? Let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.